I'm doing good. I feel good about getting on the stand and standing up for Travis and just telling it like it is and telling the truth about him. So I'm glad that I was able to do it. I knew it was an important thing for me to do, and so I'm glad that I had the chance to. And I knew that they would say something that was, you know, inappropriate. Like I knew what was coming, so I was ready for it.
Oh, good. I'm glad they didn't hurt you, but you've been sort of hurt enough by Jodi. And now Travis used to say that whoever married him would have to get used to you being around. You're going to be in his life forever. And yet, you know, he really, you connected to him. You were a reflection of him. Where'd Jodi come from? What are your thoughts on that? You two couldn't be more different.
You know, I don't know. I think it was just one of those things where she was throwing herself at him and he liked the attention, and that's, you know, that's where it came from.
I understand you had a kind of interesting experience with Jodi where you went to, he asked you to check up on the dog or something, and you went in there and lo and behold, there's Jodi in his house. Could you tell us that story?
Yes. Yeah, I lived about an hour away from Travis at the time, and he just asked me, please go check on Napoleon because, you know, my roommates are in and out. They're not really watching him. I just want to make sure that he has food and that he's okay. And so I gladly went. I love that dog, so I went to go check up on him. And when I did, there was no cars there. It looked like nobody was home, and I used my key to get in the house. And I came in and I smelt that there were cookies baking. And I thought that was kind of odd. And then I walked in, and as I get towards the kitchen and the living room, I see Jodi. She's sitting on the couch with Travis's laptop. And she comes up when she sees me. You know, she gets up right away, and there's some cookies in the oven, and then there's a tray of cookies on the counter, and she grabs the tray, and she comes over to me, and she says, like, total Stepford wife is what it was like. And
like
she
a
comes
robot.
up, do you want a cookie?
Oh.
Yeah, completely like that. And so she offers me a cookie, and I was just, at this point, I kind of knew about what was going on with the slashing tires. I didn't know for sure it was her. I didn't want to believe that it was, but I knew some stalking behaviors were going on.
Well, and there
with Travis.
she is.
And so.
And there she is in his house.
Yeah, and there she is.
She broke it into his house, and you knew she wasn't supposed to be there. I want to interrupt just for a second, give my panel a chance to ask you questions. They're all been very anxious to speak with you. Jenny Hudd, I'm going to start with you. Jenny, what would you like to ask?
Well, I just wanted to ask, do you think that all the ridiculous, first of all, I'm sorry about how you were treated on the stand. Yeah. I was so fired up and so angry about it. So I'm sorry that you were put through that. I'm sorry about Travis. But do you feel like all the talk about sex and the sex tape has taken away from what really matters in this trial, which is the fact that Jodi is a disgusting, ravaging, crazo murderer, that she murdered Travis?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's not what this trial is about. It's about my friend being murdered.
Yeah, right.
And
Mark.
I hate that they keep bringing up all these other aspects of what happened.
Mark, you've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm only smiling because Jenny always holds back how she truly feels. You know, let it out, Jen. Actually, Deanna, I wanted to ask you. First of all, I admired you while you were testifying. I mean, you were being asked some very detailed questions about your sex life, and I'm wondering what you kept telling yourself so that you wouldn't react. I want to know where you got that lack of reaction, which actually made you a lot more credible, at least here in the court of public opinion.
Well, I knew that I had to be that way. I knew that the defense wanted me to react. That's what Jodi wanted. She wanted to embarrass me. She wanted me to be humiliated. And so I just kept telling myself that I'm not going to give her what she wants. And I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm just going to tell it like it is, and it's the truth. And so I did it. I told the truth, and I'm okay with it.
Christy, I want to give you the last word here. Go ahead.
Well, you know, we were seeing the pictures of the dog, and as I understand it, he left the dog to you in his will, and Jodi, that was even a point of contention for her, wasn't it?
Yeah, people were saying, I remember soon after Travis died, that people were saying that Jodi was trying to tell people around and see what was happening with Napoleon, because she was saying that Travis wanted her to have Napoleon if he ever died. And so that was, you know, false, obviously. And he had left Napoleon to me in his will, and he had left me his library, what he called it. He just had so many books. And I remember, because of prepaid, he had to get a will done. Well, he didn't have to, but it was just one of those things that they promote doing, is doing your will, because that's something that comes with that membership that he was selling. And so when he did the will, he called me afterwards and he told me, I did my will and I'm giving Napoleon to you, and I'm giving you my library, and everything else, just all my material things in my house, that's all going to my grandma. But
it seems like
the
you still
things
get
that are
emotional.
important to me,
You still get emotional when you
Yeah,
hear it.
yeah, that's
Well,
one
I
of the
think
conversations that I really remember having with him, because it's hard for me to remember everything and go back and think about things, but that's one of those conversations that I really remember, because he said specifically, like, I trust you. I know that you'll take care of the things that are important.